occurs after 4 drinks for women or 5 drinks for men within a 2-hour time period. Binge drinking can have a damaging effect on the developing brain, causing irreversible brain damage and cognitive deficits, including memory problems. You may be saying, yeah, but that's in the developing brain. My brain's mature by now. Not so fast. The prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain that involves judgment, impulse control, and the ability to anticipate the consequences of your actions, isn't fully developed until your late 20s. And binge drinkers cause problems for not only themselves, but also for those around them. On average, one person's binge drinking negatively affects 5 people around them. You may never personally experience alcohol poisoning, and I sure hope you don't. But if you partake in the party scene, there's a good chance that you may witness it at some point before graduation. To help a friend out, it's important to know what the symptoms are. If someone passes out, the reaction should be of genuine concern for their well-being, not let's figure out a clever way to embarrass them. This should go without saying, but it happens all the time. Ever seen drunk people helping a drunk person? Not a good idea. Please get sober people to help. If they were drinking at the time they passed out, their BAC will continue to rise from the alcohol that is yet to hit the bloodstream. This is scary and is why the most important thing you can do in a situation is call 911. Remember what I said earlier about the pyloric valve spasming with high concentrations of alcohol? If the alcohol cannot go down, it'll come up. When passed out, the gag reflex is suppressed. So while waiting for help to arrive, turn your friend on their side so they cannot choke on their own vomit. If you are underage, you may be reluctant to call the authorities out of fear of getting yourself in trouble. Please know that North Carolina has something called the Good Samaritan Law that provides limited immunity from prosecution if a person seeks medical assistance for an individual experiencing an alcohol or drug-related emergency by contacting 911, law enforcement, or emergency medical personnel. The law applies if the person who sought help acted in good faith and a reasonable belief that they were the first to seek medical assistance for the person in distress, provided their name, and did not seek the medical assistance during the execution of an arrest warrant, search warrant, or lawful search. It is common for underage students to drink at a house party and then go downtown to ride out their drunkenness without consuming an alcoholic beverage. Even though they may not be in possession of alcohol, they can still get a drinking citation, which can impact career plans down the road. I'm sure you've heard that consent cannot legally be given when intoxicated. This is not something to mess with. Just because you help someone out by giving them a ride home doesn't mean they owe you or you can help yourself. Please don't be that guy, or girl for that matter. Oh boy, you're walking up the stairs back to your dorm and you come across this situation. Something doesn't look or feel right. What do? We all play a role at preventing sexual violence, and even the smallest action can make a big difference. If something doesn't look or feel right, take a second look. Check in and/or get help. The 3 Ds of bystander intervention are direct, delegate, and distract. You can directly talk to the person being harmed by saying something like, "Do you need some help?" You can directly talk to the person causing harm by saying something like, "Stop that, I see what you're doing and she's coming with us." Maybe you're too shy to intervene or it doesn't feel safe. You can always delegate to someone with authority. Call the police or go to your RA. You don't have to be the hero. Some people are paid to do that. You can lastly cause a distraction. To prevent them from getting to their room, you can pull the fire alarm. This will also cause a lot more people to see what's going on, and hopefully that will stop the guy from pursuing this girl. A hangover is essentially the body's reaction to being poisoned. Symptoms include headache, dizziness, nausea, dehydration, vomiting, and a weakened immune system. Forget the so-called hangover cures. More alcohol may postpone the symptoms of a hangover, but cannot prevent them. You are just delaying the inevitable. Aspirin cuts the effectiveness of your body's alcohol dehydrogenase, so the alcohol will stay in your system longer. That's not helpful either. What your body really needs is water to help with the dehydration and time to process the alcohol out. I'd like to wrap up with some responsible drinking strategies. Number 1, have a plan. Who are you going to go out with? How are you going to get to and from the place or places you're going? What will you be drinking? What is your responsible limit? Who's going to help hold you accountable so you don't act a fool? You know, the basics. Don't wait until you're drunk to make these decisions, though, because chances are your choices will not be smart ones. DD does not mean the least drunk person. Please remember this. Check out this heartfelt video about the importance of having a designated driver. Disclaimer, your eyeballs may sweat a little bit.
Welcome home, buddy. You and me, we were made for love. A lifetime is not long enough to show you what you mean to me. Ooh, I'll be waiting here for you when you come home. Hey, I'm sorry. I decided I shouldn't drive home last night. I stayed at Dave. When you come home. I'm back. I'm back. To me. Yeah, I'm back.
Eat a meal beforehand. Notice I said a meal, like the one pictured here, not simply a pack of nabs. Why? You should know this by now. It slows down the absorption. Some students don't eat on purpose. Please don't do this. It is important to feel each drink. In other words, take your time. No more than 2 drinks per hour. In addition to feeling each drink, I recommend tasting the alcohol. Think about it. If you can taste the alcohol, you're likely to drink it slower. Take bourbon on the rocks versus Party Punch. Party Punch gets consumed faster because it tastes like juice and doesn't burn going down. It is also dangerous because you may not know what's in it, and so cannot keep track of your number of drinks. Remember the tortoise and the hare? Ever seen someone drink heavily on a pregame party and then be a burden for their friends soon after getting downtown? The tortoise takes their time, enjoys the night, and lasts the night. Be mindful of shots and Party Punch. Usually you already have a drink in your hand when your friend has the bright idea and asks or pressures the group to do a shot. One person goes and buys the round of shots and brings them back. It usually doesn't end with one shot either. Other people in the group may feel that they owe that friend and buy another round later on. Shots often end up getting lost in your overall count since they go down so quickly. With Party Punch, chances are you don't know what's in it, which is a recipe for disaster. Also, considering you cannot taste the alcohol, it may cause you to drink faster and more than usual, and you go from feeling fine 1 second to boom, drunk. We've already talked about the dangers of mixing alcohol and caffeine, but what about harder drugs like prescription pills? Due to the unpredictability and synergistic effects, the potential for an overdose is elevated. Please do not do this. Since alcohol dehydrates you, it is important to hydrate throughout the night. If you're planning to have multiple drinks, it's a good idea to alternate with water. Now here's a personal pro tip for you. When I was a student at DCU, I had some teammates that would pressure me to drink. We'd be out at a bar and I couldn't keep up with them, nor did I want to. Well, every time I ordered a water from a bartender, it looked like this. It came in a tall glass with a big straw. It screamed water, and some of my teammates gave me a hard time for it. So finally I smartened up. I started ordering fancy waters in a rocks glass with a lime wedge. It looked like I was drinking a vodka soda or gin and tonic. Bye-bye peer pressure. I've heard from students that they'll go to a party and the only thing there is to do is drink. They walk in and there's a bunch of booze on a table or in a fridge. That's it. I encourage you to do something else that doesn't involve alcohol. This way you're focused on that rather than merely the consumption of alcohol, and you're less likely to drink as much. But be careful with drinking games, as competition can get the best of you. Drinking games can cause you to lose track of your drink count, cause you to drink faster and more, resulting in a rough night and the following day. Lastly, I encourage you to stay with people you know and trust. Go out with friends and go home with the same friends, as they are your accountability partners and should help monitor your alcohol consumption. If you leave them for another group, the new group doesn't know where you left off, which can be dangerous. Take a look at our resources folder under modules in Canvas. We have a ton of resources that can help you as you journey through this course. The strategies that we covered today are to ensure that if you choose to drink, you can enjoy it, last, and remember your nights, get home safely, and wake up without regrets. If you're going to drink, know what you're putting in your body, because when you do, you tend to make better decisions, and know your responsible limit. Count your drinks, and don't go past it. Thanks for watching.